Safe. Safe.
Hey guys, welcome to Guns with New Dog, and today we're talking about some pretty easily mishaps with firearms that really shouldn't have happened. You all are familiar with accidental shooting or a gun accident, and basically there's no such thing as an accident with firearms. What we have is mishaps that are preventable due to the negligence of the firearm owner. Every mishap that happens with a firearm happens due to the gross negligence of the owner of the firearm. So, like I said, there's no such thing as a gun accident or an accidental discharge or anything like that. It's all, every mishap with a firearm has someone to blame, and that someone is the owner of the firearm. Now, as you can see, we have some graphic images that are coming up, preferably specifically the last two. So if you're a little squeamish on seeing blood or seeing bullet holes or whatever, then you may want to skip through that part. But until then, let's get right on into it. And what we have here is a picture of a kid pointing a gun at an adult. One of the rules to firearm safety is never point a weapon at something that you don't intend to destroy or kill. So as we can see here, if that gun went off, that man's head would be blown off, and we have an issue. The media and whatnot would call it an accidental shooting. That's not true. In this case, the adult, is fully responsible for what's going on here. He is looking down the barrel of this rifle, which has got to be one of the dumbest things that anybody can ever do in any scenario. So please don't do this. I mean, the gun may not be loaded, that's fine, but it's still bad practice to look down the barrel of any kind of firearm. What else to say about this? I mean, guys, you gotta be smart. So, moving on. So here, this was a video that was on YouTube where this guy had a round that did not fire. Basically, the powder did not ignite. And so he decided he was going to look down the barrel of the gun to see if he can diagnose the problem. Again, don't look down the barrel of the gun. In this video, this guy got very, very lucky, and the rifle did fire, but thankfully for him, he moved his head in just a way that the round went through the bill of his cap. Had he been a half second off, he would have blown his own face off. What happened was, as he was looking down the barrel of the gun, the powder did ignite and it went off. This is preventable by, one, putting the weapon on safe and leaving it alone. Just keep it pointed downrange in a safe direction and give it a few minutes to make sure that doesn't happen. Here we see a picture of somebody who shot their foot. It's kind of graphic, but I think that this is a good thing to show because it does show real life consequences for not keeping the weapon pointed in a safe direction. This, whether somebody else shot this person's foot or they shot it themselves, I don't know. I don't know the history. But clearly, the weapon was not pointed in a safe direction. It was not pointed downrange. Somebody's finger was probably on the trigger. The weapon was not on safe. I mean, there's so many things that went wrong here that it's hard to diagnose just what exactly happened. But clearly it was preventable. And that's the main point I want to get across, is this was preventable. The owner of the firearm screwed up. And that's what I'm trying to get across, guys, is there's no such thing as accidents. This happened, and it happened because of gross negligence. Next up, we're going to see a very graphic one. Here we see the hand of somebody who is shooting, and they did not have their hand properly on the grip of the pistol. And so what happened was when they pulled the trigger, the slide of that pistol came back, and they come back with a lot of force. Here we see the pistol came back, and it actually ripped the skin off of this guy's hand because he didn't have his hand clear of the slide. We call this slide bite. This is definitely the most serious case of slide bite that I've ever seen, but it was still very, very easily avoided. Maybe he just didn't have enough practice. Maybe he didn't have good enough training. Who knows, guys? But this is definitely avoidable. Keep your hands clear of the slide. I mean, moving parts of a firearm, you just want to keep your body parts away from. So I'm going to cut it there, guys. This was very quick, I know, but there you have it. Be safe, be cool, have fun.